1, Mr. Grinch 2000. Jim Carrey nails the role. You fill our hearts with joy, you're a priority at Christmas, Mr. Grinch 2000. Why people don't like you, who knows? The Grinch, directed by Ron Howard, and is the 2000 live action adaptation, in fact, the only live action version of the 3 Grinch movies that have been made. The Grinch tells the story. It's the exact same narrative of one of Dr. Seuss's most well-known classic books, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, only with a huge extension of the plot that delves deeper into the Grinch's backstory and motivation for despising Christmas. The no need for a long plot explanation. Shame only one other live action adaptation of Dr. Seuss was able to be made after The Grinch, and we all know that was the catastrophe. That was the Cat in the Hat. The less said about that, the better. And this review was ever so kindly requested by one of my awesome subscribers and friends on YouTube, Chelsea Ryan. Please check her out. So she does the most awesome movie tributes you will see on YouTube, and she has been requesting me to review this movie for quite some time now. And since it's the holiday season, it's about time I review at least one Christmas movie. But don't worry, I have more Christmas movie reviews planned than just a single one. But what better than to start with the Grinch, which is for me the best Grinch movie ever made, period. Yes, this is a glorious Christmas movie and the staple of Dr. Seuss movies. I'm sure the majority would call 2008's Horse and Hears a Who their favourite Dr. Seuss movie, but I'm siding with the Grinch 2000s as my personal pick, because this was the first Dr. Seuss movie that I ever saw as a kid. And believe it or not, as a kid, it terrified me. Seriously, it took me. Maybe I was a little too young for it at the time. I was just 5 when it was released, and when I saw it on VHS. So it took me time to mature and fully appreciate this movie. But once I did, I now adore it with every fibre in my being. We all know Doug Walker, the nostalgia critic, famously hates this movie and calls it completely inferior to the 1960s Chuck Jones animated Grinch, which I know most would favour that one as their favourite of the 3 Grinch movies, but at least we're all on the same page that the 2018 Illumination Grinch movie is the weakest one, even though the mother and daughter relationship between Cindy Lou and her mother was the one heartfelt thing about that movie. The rest of it was just an unnecessary retelling that we didn't need. But as for the Grinch 2000, this may even be, for me, Ron Howard's greatest achievement. This would be my favourite of all of Ron Howard's movies. I think bringing the Grinch to life in live action is such a monumentous task. You would think this story was made for animation, and yet, even though this movie is live action, Ron Howard made it look as animated as can be. Jim Carrey as the Grinch, I don't care what anybody else thinks, love him or hate him, you can't deny he is out freaking standing as the Grinch, and this is the standout performance of his entire career. I mean, his performance not only makes you laugh with him, not only makes you fear him, but also deeply sympathise with him, and the 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 makeup on Jim Carrey is some of the most groundbreaking makeup ever put to film. I mean, it was made entirely from yak hairs painted green, and it took 2.5 hours just to apply Jim Carrey's makeup alone. I mean, that so this movie had sheer dedication to its production design and the entire look of Whoville. I mean, even bringing the Who's to life in live action was a daunting challenge for the effects and makeup artists. So they had to, CGI and digitalize some of the Who extras in the background, but you can never tell which ones are CGI. So the effects are beautifully blend together. And even though the Grinch is the biggest Christmas hater, I mean, he and Ebenezer Scrooge would be in that camp, that they would be the best of friends, as both characters are, Christmas haters, but become entirely reformed by the conclusion of their stories. This movie does the most perfect job of showing why the Grinch hates Christmas so much, and it's far more tragic a backstory than the mediocre, emotionless backstory in the 2018 Grinch that meant nothing. I mean, in this backstory, we find out as a child the Grinch was bullied because of his green appearance at school, and he had this sweet crush on this girl Martha, and she was the only one that didn't discriminate him because of his looks. So she really saw the sweet-natured guy inside of him, and when he made her a gift, and the school just teases him due to bruises on his face. So when I think his aunt gave him a haircut, he just loses this and just feels totally humiliated and disowns Christmas to this day. So I think the inclusion of the love story between Martha and him was in what was an incredibly powerful new addition that I think, please don't hurt me, fans of the source material, I think this improves over the original book. In the original book, he just hates Christmas just because he can't understand it and because his heart was 2 sizes too small. But I think, giving him a more personal reason why he loathes Christmas is more compelling, and the best performance of this movie, other than Jim Carrey, would be Taylor Momsen as Cindy Lou, and Cindy Lou is my favourite character in this entire movie, no contest. I mean, Taylor Momsen, she has grown into a gorgeous young woman now, and in this movie, back when she was just a kid, I mean she is the sweetest, most utterly adorable child actress, and she as Cindy Lou is a match made in heaven. I mean, she and Martha are the 2 characters in Whoville that have no fear of the Grinch. They can see his good side and just want to include him in the Christmas celebration, because they know that how they know that loneliness is doing the Grinch no good. So it's so it's incredibly sweet of Cindy Lou to go inside the Grinch's lair personally and invite him and nominate him to be Chairmeister. Yeah, and that was a scene that I wish existed in the book. Yeah, this movie has twice as much plot as the book. But unlike the 2018 Grinch, none of it feels like padding. It's all works to help grow the Grinch as a character as he to build up to his gradual change of heart in the heart growing free sizes that day scene at the end, and the and this movie even has a surprisingly decent villain, Mayor Augustus of Whoville. Mayor Augustus should be the one that gets all the hate in Whoville, not the Grinch. I mean, this guy, he is the most manipulative and deceitful mayor you will ever see. I mean, he tricks everybody in Whoville and convinces them that the Grinch is a monster and should not be trusted, and he's also stealing Martha away from the Grinch, so you can see why the Grinch has a has personal beef with him, and yeah, but thankfully Martha rejects Augustus and ends up guessing with the Grinch at the very end. So the love story does have a happy payoff to it, and you just love the moment when Cindy Lou Who's father, he stands up to Mayor Augustus. So when he's like, you know what, it doesn't matter that we have no tree presents or fancy decorations, because that's not what Christmas is all about. So we can celebrate Christmas without the commercial side, because the true meaning of Christmas is spending time with loved ones, and not what we receive but what we can give. I think this movie conveys that message infinitely more emotionally than the 2018 Grinch ever did. And fun fact, one of Ron Howard's sons is an extra in this movie, and Max, the Grinch's dog, the dog actor that played Max is in real life a female dog, and she does the cutest job at acting. I mean, she will go down in history as Laddie, as one of the greatest dog actors in all of film. I'm sure there are elements of crude humour in here, like when the Grinch is stealing Christmas, he makes the mayor in his sleep kiss Max's butt as revenge for taking Martha from him, but you know what? It's only minimal, and it's done in a harmless way. And I love that this movie has humour that both kids and adults will get a laugh out of, making it the most universally accessible adaptation of the Grinch to date. And also the song in the soundtrack of this movie, "Where are you, Christmas? Why can't I find you?" by Faith Hill. Oh, it is just beautifully sung. Yeah, she does a phenomenal job of performing that magical song, and that song helps give this movie an even bigger heart than it's already had. So overall, I can see why there are those who may be put off by the way Ron Howard chose to tell the story of the Grinch. But look at it this way: it's a masterpiece in comparison to the Cat in the Hat, and you and this movie was, I mean, I mean, Dr. Seuss's widow at the time, she was heavily involved with Ron Howard in the making of this movie, and that clearly shows in the final product. So that, and unlike the Cat in the Hat, at least the filmmakers cared about this movie, and I I think this movie is a high priority to watch every single Christmas. It's one of those Christmas classics that Santa always leaves the good kids on the nice list and in their stockings, like Elf or Home Alone or Polar Express, and this is up there, and I and it's also one of the most revolutionary revolutionary visually stunning movies for its time, especially in terms of makeup, and I think had Dr. Seuss lived to see it, I think he would have adored it.
I give the Grinch 2000 5 stars out of 5. Best movie ever.
I can't believe we're now entering the double digits in the countdown to Christmas. So there's still time to review a few more festive Christmas movies just to keep the Christmas spirit going. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what are your thoughts on the Grinch 2000s and which Grinch movie is your favourite? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and on Instagram. And I'll see you next time when I review Noel and Claus. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.